How often do you look at your chest monster and wish you had some ideas for a cool, functional storage room? Well, you came to the right place because I'll be showing you over 10 great ideas guaranteed to make your base 100% cooler. I'll be showing you some mega storage ideas, some hidden room concepts, and even some outdoor storage rooms. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So to get us started here, I think I need to make an important distinction between the two types of storage rooms that I think exist in the game right now. And that is the first one being the extremely functional and the second being just aesthetic and not so functional. And I think striking a balance between the two is an incredibly important thing, and it helps a lot. And I think this room here, which is the first one we're going to look at, is a good mix. Now, in here, we actually have two auto-sorted farms. So we have a sniffer farm dropping some good sniffer drops. Really bad mob, by the way. And of course, we have a creeper farm and a glow ink farm connected to this side. And over here, some extra storage just for some miscellaneous blocks and things when I'm building in this area. Oh, I want my bird back though. And so having this kind of mix where it is functional and useful and it is also aesthetic is a really great way to make the space more enjoyable. And of course, it gives you a chance to really decorate it with flowers and leaves and all the blocks that you want, and it gives it a lot more life, in my opinion, which is something that more automated storage rooms usually don't have, I find, because you just end up with a wall of chests. I do really like that this one is circular. I think circular rooms are my favorite thing to make in the game, and they're really fun because they do add that much more architectural complexity, and it's really fun. So that's the first room. It's a bit of a simple one and a smaller one, but don't worry, because they're going to get pretty big as the video goes on here with this next one. Now, for the longest time, this next storage room was actually the biggest one in my world, and I would have considered it a mega build. But as the world has grown, this room has obviously become a little small and actually is full of a lot of the materials that it stores. Like the cobble, we're almost full, the stone is full, all the rest is full. And this is actually an auto sorting system. So the idea was that you could come up here and you could just drop off all your gross cobble and all that stuff in here and see it get flushed away, and then you would come in and you could grab it from wherever you wanted afterwards. You can see back here, it is all auto sorted, and it does go around and get picked up. And this is some older stuff, I think, as well, because this area wasn't loaded. But everything sorts and everything is labeled because I'm organized. And a room like this is a great time to build. It's a lot of fun, and it's really satisfying when it's done. However, I don't really like building auto storage rooms all that much anymore in Minecraft, and that is because I like being connected to my items. I like to know how many I have, and I like to touch them and stuff. However, for copious amounts of stone and cobble and all of that, it is nice to just come in here, drop it off, walk away, and just know that I have about a bajillion stone here. It is great for that, but you'll see the more recent builds are a lot more hands-on, but this one has a special place in my heart. I actually built this before I even started doing YouTube. And I think, honestly, it's still one of my favorite rooms in the base. Anyways, that's it for this one. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you like auto sorters, or are you more of a hands-on sorting person? I'd love to hear it. Now, let's move on to something a little bit more hidden. Some channel lore that you may not be aware of is that between the walls of my base, there are a silly amount, hey bird, there are a silly amount of villagers, but also chests. I have tons of secret storage rooms for you to discover if you download the map, and this is probably the biggest one. I'll show a few different little designs of these as we go through the world and pepper them into the video, but a lot of these are just very secret little hidden rooms. Oh, my bird! Oh, I thought he died. Okay, let's sit him down right there so he doesn't die. These rooms are absolutely everywhere, and they are full of stuff usually, and I'll come by later and pick away like gravel and stuff like that that I will need, but there is an absolute dumb amount of things in here, and that's because when you're digging out a big room such as this one, or the one over there, or the one over here, or even the one over here, you need a lot of chests to put away all that junk as you build. And when the base gets too big, it's really annoying to go put that away. But I don't want you guys to see my chest monster in my videos, so I hide it back there. And there's a ton of these throughout the world. Like, that's a pretty bad one right there. But believe it or not, there's also another one not too far away, just over this way. Another secret, though, behind a painting, I have more stuff hidden back here. And that's another little secret storage. Come here, bird. Okay, whatever. And of course, that's not the only one, because it is pathological at this point. Sometimes I'll hide them behind optical illusions like this. And here's more. And even more if we keep going this way. Did I pick up my bird? Yes. Even more in the new poker room, I hid it back here behind a lever. If you flip this lever, you can see all the stuff that I used to build it is still back here. And the floor is usually shulkers. And there are rooms like this absolutely everywhere. Obviously, some of them, like this one, are a lot cooler because they're redstone and hidden and stuff. But as we go through the video, I'll show you some different ideas on how to hide them. But this next one on the list is most definitely not hidden. And in fact, it is probably my favorite storage room of them all. And that, of course, is the castle that we've recently built. I think maybe 3 or 4 months ago, we made this in a Let's Play episode, and it has quickly become probably the most important room in my entire world. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about it and show you some of the finer details. So this room, I think, strikes the perfect balance between functional and aesthetic. So there are actually 2 levels of storage. Up there is deep storage for things like stone and dirt and sand and all that. And down here, I've organized everything into very succinct sections. So redstone, transportation, records, everything is perfectly organized and easy to retrieve. And of course, there are a lot of chests. And I've even tried to organize them by color, and it is a very functional room with, of course, this nice little decor piece in the middle with the table and the chandeliers and everything. And it's just a very big room. What I like about doing big rooms like this is they just really feel like they belong, and they feel cool to be in, and they're fun to interact with, and I can fly in and out and go through the portal and everything. And during the daytime with the shaders, this place is insane. If we move on to the second story here, you will see that this one doesn't have as much stuff labeled, but the speed carpet is here. This is a really important section. I really like being able to run around fast in here because I can access all my stuff. But you'll see soon this will probably overflow and I'll be stuck making another room. If you're going to set up a room like this, I would consider doing a little bit of math first and figuring out how many chests you need, because it's really annoying to run out halfway through. But what's cool is you kind of fill it up as you go, and I had a really great time making this one. If you want to see it more in detail, you can check out that Let's Play episode. I'll have it linked somewhere in the top right here at this point. Anyways, I think it's time we move on to a room that is more recent and never seen before, and it's actually on my multiplayer server, which you can join. So let's go check it out. So if you are looking for a really chill and awesome survival multiplayer world to join, this one is pretty fun. I like to play on it a lot. And of course, to play on the server, I have built a storage room underneath my shack over here. So if we come down this little ladder, you will see it's a lot bigger on the inside. So basically, I live underground, of course, very original and different from what I usually do. But I have been working on this storage room for a few weeks now, and I am super happy with the final result. I think it's a really nice blend of like useful and aesthetic. So it really hits that line. I think it's useful because all the chests are easy access and they're very easily sorted. but it's aesthetic and large and could probably be a lot smaller if I wanted to go just functional. But overall, I'm really happy. There's a lot going on here to talk about. The first thing is this fireplace. Full disclosure, I didn't really necessarily come up with that. I found some pictures online and I based my design off of it, but I think it fits the area really well. And of course, we have our jukebox. We have some food cooking here, some stews cooking on the fire. A lot of chests, some barrels of liquid, our dragon head, a whole bunch of little knickknacks. We do have heads on the server, so I've been putting heads everywhere. It's a lot of fun. And in here, a fully functioning enchanting table. This thing works like a charm. I really like this design. And if we keep going here, we have a bunch of little decorations again, some sad pepes. And in here, something you should add to your world is some card games. I'm really into making redstone card games. This is basically my version of stat poker. So you hit this and cards come out in here. I think it's empty right now, but basically the card comes in here and this light will determine if it's the most or the least. So let's say like jumps or something. And there's a card collector and a few other little neat features. Overall, really cool little room. I think it adds a lot to the storage idea, so it's kind of like a nice area to visit and have fun in. There is a swing over here because I like to run around aimlessly and do nothing in the game. I like to just hop around and waste my time, so I added a swing so that I could sit, and I think this room is really, really cool. I tried to go for kind of like a Viking theme, but obviously a maybe fantasy Viking with the block choices. But I really like how it turned out. Honestly, this might be one of my favorite builds in the last little while. So anyway, that's it for this room here. Let's move on to something back in the survival world. All right, so moving on here, back in the survival world. This one kind of borders the line between storage room and multi-purpose room, but it is probably the most important room in this world that there ever has been, because I have used it probably the most. So we do have a great amount of storage here. However, the organization method is not great, so it is kind of tricky sometimes to know where things are, but I do still keep a lot of stuff around here just because sometimes I'll come through here still. And of course, the smelter. Thank you everybody for your feedback. I fixed it. And the lava collection, the library, and everything kind of starts here. For a really long time, I did view this storage area as the beating heart for the base because it is the fundamental center of my world. But these days, not so much anymore. But that doesn't mean that we don't like it. So it is definitely a lot more gray and colorless and dark than the other ones. I used some coral, I used some blocks I don't normally use, like this floor. And of course, we have the pit of doom in the center here. I think there might actually be, yep, a tiny little axolotl down here. And some villagers which have escaped my penitentiary and made their way down here. But we keep them down there because it's pretty funny. But anyway, for a room like this, I think what's important, again, is the speed beacon. And of course, just being able to run around and get to your banners and get to all your stuff really quick. So when you're working on a big project, it doesn't take too long to get what you need. Overall, I really like this room. I think if there was one thing, though, that I could change, I would probably have given more room here between this giant thing. I really like the idea, but I feel like the execution is a bit lackluster, and maybe I could have done a better job. Oh, and of course, I almost forgot the brewing station over here. Very automated and easy to use. It's really, really bad, actually. That was irony because I have to do everything myself, but I do like it that way. And of course, some hidden compartments behind the walls where I'm making some bone meal and where I am currently killing villagers. If you remember the world tour, there were a lot of villagers back here. Now, not so much. They fall in the lava and die. So that's where we're at with this room. And of course, some more secrets down there. The storage room definitely ranks among some of the best that I have created. I really like the detail and the amount of fun things that there are to look at in this room, and the block variety is pretty insane too. Very expensive. So anyways, let's move on to another secret storage room that I actually don't even have to transition to because it's right behind this painting. I really like building rooms like this because this is where I hide all of my really annoying blocks that take up too much space. And you can see some very simple decoration, but it is cool, I think, to have little rooms like this hidden behind. Is there even stuff here still? Oh yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here. I need to come back here and clean this out eventually. But I do like having these little spaces. There's even another one over here. Everything is dynamic and hidden in this world, and that's how it should be. So anyway, let's move on to something a little bit different, a little bit more in the sun, and something a lot more recent that no one's ever seen before. It does feel good to be back out in the sun here in a brand new storage room that I'm actually working on as part of a new development in my world. Basically, what I want to do is start a big strip mine like I used to have in older worlds. I'm sure some of you older players remember the days of strip mining. So I'm trying to build like a little outdoor area here. It's brand new. I just built it last week. So we start back here with the little Buddha statue, and he's spitting out some water into this fountain. I do like it because I think it adds a little bit of like visual intrigue and a little bit of movement with the water and all that. And a splash of blue doesn't hurt. And we follow this blue down on the ground here on the path, which connects to the stairs. So when you come down, you have some linear elements. I really like doing that. I think it really leads your eye down the path. And of course, some chests. Some are overgrown, such as this one. Some like these are a little bit cleaner, maybe some fences and stuff. And again, the idea here is that I can go down into my soon-to-be mine over here, bring back the materials, and just plop them in all these chests. So like stone and all that, and then maybe some ores in the center barrels is the general idea. Now, how functional is this exactly? Well, the short answer is it is not functional whatsoever. And that is basically just because look at all the wasted space. You could fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chests per block, or like per section here. And then you could go another 1, 2, 3, 4. You could go up 4. So you could have 20 chests instead of just 6 with these 3 barrels. And of course, it rains. But anyway, I think it looks cool in the rain because it gives us water more reason to be here. So anyway, that's this room. And of course, there are some furnaces and a little minecart, which doesn't go anywhere yet, but I do like pushing it around. It is fun. So this is unfortunately the last one in the video. So if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget, give it a like and maybe subscribe if you enjoyed it. I really hope you did. I spent a long time trying to figure out which rooms to show. And I would love it if you would let me know in the comments what I should do next. What kind of video are you guys looking for? Maybe some more Let's Plays or maybe some more build ideas of different sorts. The world has a bunch more to show. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.